This is Friday Night Football on KLST, brought to you by Randall Motors.
And welcome on into Friday Night Football Week 2 edition. Highlights and recaps this evening of 19 games as teams look to break that feeling out process and begin to hit their stride. A team looking to have a better result this week, the Central Bobcats at home for the first time this season. Central winning last year's matchup with El Paso Montwood, 34-29. The Angry Orange looking to move 1-1 on the season, hosting Montwood early in the first quarter. Tyler Hill keeping the ball in the read option play, makes a few defenders look silly, hurdles one defender, runs through a few more arm tacklers, and he keeps the legs churning all the way for the Bobcat first down. He's fired up after that play. For a few plays later, it's Tyler Hill again, the same play, this time to the end zone. 7-6 to cut into the Rams lead. Moving to the second quarter after a interception, running the ball here. That's Tyree Browley, the handoff up the middle, and he's gone in for 6. Rams leading it 21-6. Next possession for the Cats. They get into the end zone. Cats would lead it 28-20 at the half, though. However, they would fall in a heartbreaker, 52-49 the final. Let's head down to some 4A action this evening. The Lakeview Chiefs making the trip down to Sweetwater this evening after their thrilling victory last week over Lamesa. That saw the Chiefs score twice late for the victory. Tonight, Lakeview looking to knock off Sweetwater for the first time since 1983 at last look. This game's still going on in the fourth quarter. The Chiefs leading 27-25. Wall looking impressive to say the least in week 1, a dominating victory over ranked Eastland, totaling over 700 total yards of offense. This week, though, the tough competition would continue for the Hawks as they welcome in the 7th ranked team in Class 2A Division II, the Lobos from Cisco. These two teams have been quite familiar with one another, two powerhouses in high school football in recent years. So much so, since 2014, these two teams have met 6 times, Wall claiming victory in 4 of those 6. Out of those 6 games, the schools have been separated by 7 or less points. The only game not separated by 7 was back in 2017 when Wall won 21-3. The Hawks will look for revenge this year, though, after falling in double overtime last season, 27-21. And the gauntlet of a non-district schedule continuing tonight for the Wall Hawks, a 3A versus 2A crossover. Wall looking to add this one to the list of thrillers between Cisco. The Hawks hosting number 7 in 2A Division II, the Cisco Lobos. First quarter, the rain causing havoc. Muff pumped by the Lobos results in Brylan White, the old scoop and score. He's got nothing but green grass in front of him. Wall off and running early, 7-0. In the second, Cisco would respond. Trenton Houston gets the handoff. He'll power his way into the end zone. The extra point, though, no good, so Wall still in front, still in good shape, 7-6. Still in the second, some miscommunication by the Hawks. The loose ball picked up by the Lobos. Trey Burkeen makes a man miss. He's gone. Just like that, Cisco in front, 12-6. The Hawks, though, they get that lead right back. Cannon McCabe gets the pitch, bounces out to the outside, gets some blockers. Up the sideline he goes, diving into the end zone. Wall back on top, 14-12. However, the lone score in the second half, the Lobos, they spoil the Hawks home opener tonight, 18-14. The final, Wall hosting Jim Ned next week. A couple of teams looking for their first wins of the 2022 season. Mason, who lost in heartbreaking fashion last week to Coleman. Brady looking to rebound after a tough loss to Comanche. The Punchers take this one tonight, 27-7 to move 1-0 on the season. A couple of teams looking for their first win as well over in Grape Creek. The Cougars and Eagles. First quarter, Cougars strike first. Manuel Rojas gets the handoff, gets some blocks ahead of him, diving in the end zone at 7-0 Cristobal. Later in the first, Josiah Johnston calling his own number, runs into the line of scrimmage. Uh-oh, where'd he go? There he is! Big gain for the Eagles on that one. A little bit later, we'll go to the second quarter now. 7-3 Cougars. Cristobal going to the air. Caden Carpenter with the reception. Up the sideline he goes. Nobody touching that young man. That'll make it 14-3. Cristobal in the win column this evening. They go to 1-1 on the season. 30-10 the final. There was history in week one of the high school football season here in Texas. TLCA snapping a 24-game losing streak, defeating Ozona in a thriller 42-36. The Eagles looking to move to 2-0, hosting Odessa Compass Academy tonight. Starting things off in the first quarter, Diego Franco handing the ball off to Abraham Dalvos. Finds the brick wall. TLCA wrapping up for no gain. Cougars score first, 7-0 TLCA. Looking for some momentum. Here comes Jalen Johnson finding the hole, running it in for a TLCA touchdown. They would go on to miss the extra point, 7-6. Remember that. Second quarter now. Franco launching the ball. Pass intended for Dalvos. Finds Isaiah Vacara into the back, break that one up. That's how this one ends tonight. A 7-6 defensive slugfest between the two schools. TLCA moving to 1-1 on the season. And that's where we find our Sabrina Hoover live at Lakeview Stadium with a recap of this game from TLCA.
Yeah, Ryan, I promise you I'm not in the middle of nowhere. I'm right outside Lakeview Stadium. They just shut the lights off on me. But the TLCA Eagles entered this game coming off a 42-36 win over the Ozona Lions last week, hoping to build on to some momentum heading into this game against the Odessa Compass Cougars. Now, this game was all defense, but the Cougars started off fast with a 7-0 score with a Abraham Davalius touchdown to put them on the board. Now, they did find some momentum with TLCA, with Jalen Johnson scoring a touchdown, but they would go on to miss the extra point, with the score being 7-6. Now that extra point would come back to bite the TLCA Eagles as they fell to the Cougars today, 7-6. Now the Eagles are now 1-1 and will go on to face the Winter Blizzards next Friday at home. Now the Winter Blizzards are a very young core group, so they do have 3 seniors on their roster, so it'll be a good underclassmen matchup. Reporting from Lakeview Stadium, I'm Sabrina Hoover. Back to you, Ryan.
This live shot brought to you by Advanced Custom Windows.
All right, thanks for that report, Sabrina. Coming up on Friday Night Football, 11-man highlights and recaps to continue on, plus 5 sets of brothers on one team. What? That story coming up after the break.